Welcome to Buddhism in Modern Life. Today, we delve into a deeply relevant and thought-provoking topic: war. In recent months, the world has witnessed numerous conflicts, nations torn apart, and countless lives lost. Such devastation raises a pressing question. What can we learn from the Buddhist teachings about war? This video isn't about assigning blame. It's about exploring the deeper truths of why war itself is harmful and what alternatives the Buddha proposed. If you're seeking wisdom that transcends the endless cycle of blame, hate, and violence, stay with us to the very end. Part 1. Understanding the roots of war and hatred. War often arises from a desire for power, territory, or vengeance. Yet, what is the cost? The Buddha's words resonate across centuries. Victory gives rise to hatred, and the defeated dwells in pain. By renouncing both victory and defeat, one finds true happiness. Let's unpack this profound insight. When one nation or individual seeks to dominate another, it creates a ripple effect of hatred. The victorious side often becomes arrogant, while the defeated harbor resentment and pain. This cycle ensures that peace is fleeting, as the seeds of future conflict are sown during the war itself. The Buddha's wisdom encourages us to rise above this cycle. True happiness doesn't come from conquering others. It comes from conquering ourselves, our ego, pride, and destructive emotions. Buddha valued inner conquest over external victories. More than winning 1,000 battles, the greatest victory is conquering oneself. This teaching invites us to reflect. Are we fighting external battles to avoid facing our inner struggles? In striving for power, are we ignoring the peace that can only come from within? How do these ancient teachings apply today? Consider the wars of the past century. Despite treaties and ceasefires, the underlying hatred and resentment often linger, leading to renewed conflict. For instance, after World War I, the harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles planted the seeds for World War II. The Buddhist teachings remind us that sustainable peace cannot be achieved through humiliation or punishment. Instead, forgiveness and mutual understanding are essential. The principles of renouncing victory and defeat also apply to everyday life. Think about arguments with friends or family. How often do we focus on winning the argument rather than resolving the underlying issue? In these moments, the Buddha's wisdom calls us to let go of pride and seek harmony instead. The Buddha taught, hatred is never appeased by hatred. It is appeased only by love. This is an eternal law. This eternal law is a guiding principle for resolving not only wars, but all forms of conflict. To forgive doesn't mean to forget or condone wrongdoings. It means to release ourselves from the chains of anger and vengeance. Why forgiveness matters? Forgiveness is not a weakness. It is an act of courage. It breaks the cycle of hatred and opens the door to healing. In the words of the Buddha, it allows us to let go and move forward. One powerful example is Nelson Mandela, who, after 27 years of imprisonment, chose forgiveness over revenge. His leadership helped South Africa transition from apartheid to democracy, demonstrating the transformative power of letting go. As we conclude this first part, let's pause and reflect on the suffering caused by war and hatred. The Buddhist teachings offer a timeless solution: a let go of the need to dominate. Seek peace within yourself. Extend compassion and forgiveness to others. If these insights resonate with you, consider subscribing to Buddhism in Modern Life. Together, we'll explore more ways to bring ancient wisdom into our contemporary lives, creating a world rooted in peace and understanding. Stay tuned for the second part of this discussion, where we'll delve deeper into practical strategies for applying the Buddhist teachings to both global and personal conflicts. In the first part, we explored the Buddhist teachings on war and the cycle of hatred and victory. Now, let's shift our focus toward actionable steps and deeper reflections on how we can break free from these cycles, whether in global conflicts or personal struggles. At the heart of most conflicts lies the ego, the attachment to me and mine. The Buddha often spoke of how desire, attachment, and aversion fuel suffering. When nations, leaders, or individuals act from a place of ego, they prioritize their interests at the expense of others, breaking the cycle of us versus them. The Buddha taught that divisiveness arises when we see others as separate from ourselves. By cultivating compassion and recognizing our shared humanity, we dissolve the barriers of us versus them. Consider two neighboring countries locked in a territorial dispute. Each side clings to its version of history, unwilling to compromise. Instead of seeking understanding, they escalate tensions, often leading to war. The Buddhist teachings urge leaders in such situations to pause, reflect on the shared suffering, and find solutions rooted in mutual respect. How often do we do the same in our lives? Perhaps in a workplace conflict or a disagreement with a loved one, we allow our ego to fuel resentment. The Buddha reminds us that peace begins with letting go of our need to be right. Forgiveness is one of the most transformative principles in the Buddhist teachings. It's not just about absolving others, but also about freeing ourselves from the burden of anger and hatred. Why is forgiveness so difficult? Forgiveness often feels like surrender, but in truth, it's an act of strength. Holding on to anger keeps us chained to the past, while forgiveness opens the door to freedom. Historical perspective. The aftermath of apartheid in South Africa serves as a testament to the power of forgiveness. Through the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, victims and perpetrators came together to confront the past and build a peaceful future. This process, though painful, exemplifies the Buddhist teaching that hatred ceases only through understanding and compassion. On a personal level, forgiveness might mean reaching out to a friend after an argument or choosing not to retaliate when someone wrongs you. Each act of forgiveness contributes to a more peaceful world. One of the most effective ways to embody the Buddhist teachings is through meditation and self-reflection. By turning inward, we gain clarity and develop the patience and compassion needed to navigate conflicts. Metta-bhavana, or loving-kindness meditation, is a practice where we cultivate unconditional love for ourselves and others. This meditation can be a powerful tool for breaking down walls of hatred and fostering forgiveness. Steps for Metta-bhavana. 1. Sit comfortably and focus on your breath. 2. Begin by directing loving kindness toward yourself. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. 3. Extend these wishes to someone you love, then to a neutral person, and finally to someone you struggle to forgive. 4. Gradually expand your compassion to encompass all beings. While individual efforts are vital, leaders and communities play a crucial role in creating a peaceful world. The Buddhist teachings on ethical leadership, or Dasa Rajadharma, offer timeless guidance for those in power. The Buddha emphasized that a leader must embody the following qualities: a generosity, serving the needs of the people without selfishness; immorality, acting with integrity and fairness; a nonviolence, avoiding harm to others and promoting peace; a compassion, understanding and alleviating the suffering of others. World leaders can apply these principles to address global issues such as climate change, economic inequality, and armed conflict. By prioritizing the well-being of all, they pave the way for sustainable peace. The path of nonviolence and compassion is not without challenges. In a world filled with injustice, many question whether forgiveness and nonviolence are practical. Facing criticism. Choosing peace often invites criticism. Those who advocate for forgiveness are sometimes seen as weak or naive. Yet, the Buddhist teachings remind us that true strength lies in restraint and understanding. Example: Gandhi's nonviolent resistance against British colonial rule faced immense skepticism. Yet, his unwavering commitment to nonviolence ultimately inspired millions and brought about profound change. True change begins with small, everyday actions. Each of us has the power to contribute to a more peaceful world through our thoughts, words, and deeds. Practical steps. 1. Practice kindness. Offer a smile or a kind word, even to strangers. 2. Resolve conflicts peacefully. Approach disagreements with patience and empathy. 3. Teach peace to the next generation. Instill values of compassion and forgiveness in children. 4. Support peaceful initiatives. Volunteer for or donate to organizations working to resolve conflicts and support victims of war. The Buddhist teachings on war and peace are as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. They challenge us to look beyond surface conflicts and address the root causes of hatred and division. By conquering our egos, practicing forgiveness, and cultivating compassion, we can break the cycles of violence and create a world where peace is not just a distant dream but a lived reality. As we bring this discussion to a close, let's reflect on the words of the Buddha. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal law. Let this be our guiding principle as we navigate the challenges of life. Together, we can build a future rooted in peace and understanding. If this message resonates with you, please consider subscribing to Buddhism in Modern Life. By joining this community, you're taking a step toward embodying these teachings and spreading their light to others. Let us work together to create a world where compassion triumphs over conflict and love overcomes hatred. Nam Buddhaya.